Not every woman who enters your life is there to love you. Some are there to test you, to see how much of yourself you are willing to give up just to keep them around. You see, when you're a man who is consistent, stable, disciplined, and clear about who you are and where you are going, it can be intimidating to someone who needs control to feel secure. Your calm presence, your focus, and your refusal to be swayed by drama or chaos becomes a threat to her comfort. So what does she do? She will try to humble you, but not with honesty or accountability. She will use games, subtle digs, and power plays to try to shrink you just enough so she can feel bigger around you. She will say you are too confident, too sure of yourself to calm, and she will find ways to challenge your stability just to see if she can shake it. It often starts in small ways, like laughing at your goals, rolling her eyes when you share your plans, dismissing your opinions with a sarcastic tone, or making fun of your habits and interests. It is not because your goals are foolish or your opinions are weak, but because your steady presence challenges the comfort of her chaos. She will test your boundaries to see if you will bend to please her, distract you when you try to focus on your purpose, and joke when you are being serious about your mission. A woman like this does not want a man who is strong within himself. She wants a man who feels weaker than she is, so she can feel powerful without having to rise herself. Your growth becomes a threat to her sense of control, and if you are not careful, you will find yourself shrinking, doubting, and silencing your ambitions just to keep her comfortable. But that is not love. It is emotional sabotage wearing the mask of affection, and if you allow it to stay, it will cost you the life you were meant to build. Her tests are not random moments of confusion. They are deliberate power moves designed to measure your emotional strength and your willingness to surrender your control to keep her close. When she pulls away suddenly to see if you will chase, it is not because she is lost or unsure. It is to confirm that she can control your attention at will. When she casually brings up another man in conversation, mentioning how he makes her laugh or how interesting he is, she is not simply sharing stories. She is studying your reaction, looking for jealousy, insecurity, or fear in your eyes. She wants to see if you will step out of your frame, if you will lose your calm to compete for her validation. When you open up to her about your dreams or your struggles and she goes cold right after, leaving you questioning what you did wrong, that is not emotional confusion on her part. It is a calculated strategy to see how quickly you will start chasing her energy to feel safe again. It is all a game of control, a way to see how far she can push you before you break your composure. If she can make you react emotionally, if she can make you panic or overthink, she knows she has found the strings to keep you off balance. Because as long as you are off balance, you are easy to lead, easy to manipulate, and easy to keep in a position where your focus is not on your purpose, but on earning back her warmth. But the day you decide not to react, not to chase, not to argue or even flinch, the dynamic begins to shift. The leash she thought she had around your mind disappears, and for the first time, she feels the uncertainty she has been forcing you to carry. The power she believed she had over you dissolves when you refuse to engage in the games she uses to test your strength. In that moment, you reclaim your control, your clarity, and your direction, reminding yourself that you are not a puppet for her tests, but a man who does not lose himself to be approved by anyone. There is a difference between a woman who wants to love you and a woman who wants to be worshipped by you. And if you are not careful, you will mistake her desire for attention as love. Some women do not want to be chosen by a man who is sure of himself. They want to be chased by a man who is unsure if he deserves her. They do not want a partner who will walk beside them. They want a fan who will stand beneath them, constantly seeking their validation, constantly trying to prove his devotion and worthiness through his actions. They want a man who will revolve his entire sense of worth around their approval, who will drop everything to respond every text, who will break plans to accommodate their moods, who will silence his needs, just to keep them happy. And if you begin to give her this kind of attention, thinking it will earn you love, you will not gain more of her respect. You will lose it completely, because once she feels that you have placed her above yourself, that you see her as the center of your world, she will begin to see you as a man who can be controlled and replaced. You will become easy to criticize, easy to dismiss, and easy to take for granted, because a man who worships her instead of leading himself has already shown that he will tolerate disrespect just to keep her presence in his life. You will think you are being romantic when you constantly prove your devotion, but in her eyes, you are showing her you have nothing else in your life more important than her mood and attention. The truth is, if you put her on a pedestal, she will begin to look down on you, and she will test how much of yourself you are willing to give away for her validation. To her, you are not a man to respect, but an audience to entertain and discard when she is bored. And the moment you allow her to feel above you, she will stop seeing your presence as valuable and begin treating it as a convenience, reminding you at every opportunity that you are the one who needs her, not the other way around. Your discipline is what truly shakes her, not your looks, not your money, not even your confidence, but the quiet consistency with which you live your life and move toward your purpose. Discipline is a language she cannot manipulate, because it shows her that you can walk away without needing to create drama, without seeking her validation, without explaining yourself endlessly to be understood. Discipline means you don't need her attention to feel whole. It means you have something bigger than her moods to focus on, something that demands your consistency and energy daily. And that terrifies someone who is used to controlling men through emotional chaos and sudden withdrawals of affection. She will start to interrupt you when you are focused on your mission, calling you distant or saying you have changed, hoping to guilt you into breaking your rhythm so she can feel important again in your world. She will complain that you are too busy, that you no longer give her the same energy, not because you are neglecting her, but because your focus on your goals exposes her lack of purpose. Your discipline highlights where she is inconsistent in her own life, and instead of rising with you, she would rather pull you back into the comfort of distraction, into endless conversations about feelings, or arguments about nothing that drain your mental energy and emotional stability. A woman who truly loves you will encourage your discipline, will respect your boundaries, and will understand when you say you need time to build. But a woman who fears your growth will see your discipline as a threat, because it means she cannot control you through her moods or her presence. She knows that a man who is disciplined is a man who does not fear walking away, a man who does not need to be told how to live, and a man who will not trade his purpose for temporary comfort or validation. And that realization will either push her to respect you deeply or to leave, because she knows she cannot manipulate a man who is rooted in his mission. If she can hurt you and you still stay, if she can cross your boundaries and you continue to give her the same access to your life, she will never respect you. You might think that staying through her mood swings, forgiving her cold behavior, or tolerating her disrespect proves your loyalty and strength. But in her eyes, it proves your weakness. Because if she can lie to you, lash out at you, flirt with other men in your face, test your patience with constant drama, and still return to find your arms open and your energy the same, then your love has no weight, and your boundaries have no meaning. She needs to know there are consequences for her actions, that your peace is not for sale just because you desire her, that your respect for yourself will always outweigh your desire to be with her. The moment you stay after she disrespects you, the moment you try to prove yourself after she tests your worth, you teach her that your lines don't exist, and she will continue to test you again and again, each time pushing further, each time losing more respect for you. Every sarcastic jab she throws, every backhanded compliment, Every subtle dig at your dreams or your confidence is not harmless banter. It is a strategy to make you doubt yourself so she can feel superior. If she can make you second guess your decisions, if she can make you question your worth, she creates a dependency where you start to look for her approval before you move. But the truth is, a man who doubts himself on command is easy to control, easy to manipulate, and easy to replace. The real power is not in proving her wrong or convincing her of your worth. It is in not needing her opinion to validate your choices. When you stop explaining yourself, when you stop chasing, when you stop trying to prove that you are worthy of love, you become untouchable. The moment you choose silence over arguing, purpose over her chaos, peace over her approval, she realizes she no longer has control over you. And that is when she understands she can no longer play games with a man who knows who he is.